Hey, Security Token Market. I'm really excited to be joined here with Alex Nascimento, who is the founder and managing partner of 7CC Capital, as well as he's faculty at UCLA. This guy has taught blockchain. He's into this industry. He's written books in the industry. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Of course. So let's first kick it off with just how did you get into the crypto blockchain space to begin with? And were you teaching before and you pivoted into this industry, or did the crypto come first?
No, I actually was teaching before. So I've been teaching at UCLA since 2009. I went there to get my MBA, graduated in 2008, which dates me. And 2008 was not a very good year to graduate from business school. So took a little bit of a route into academia and was teaching there like different entrepreneurship, tech investments. In 2016, met some of like the early guys on the MetaMask project and Ethereum project, and started investing in crypto. 2017 came along. We all know history. Bitcoin went from 1,000 to 20,000, which pushed several universities, including UCLA, to want to have a crypto or blockchain initiative. And at the time, I was probably one of the very few faculties on the team that knew what blockchain was.
Right.
So we pivoted not only our investments in tech, but our educational efforts all into blockchain. And that's when I co-founded 7CC.
So at UCLA, what is the crypto blockchain division? Is it a major program? Is it a minor program? Is it a specific, set of those degrees, or how is it structured? It's just classes?
No, so it's interesting. It's a good question because we have a few different offerings at UCLA. So the main idea was that the UCLA Blockchain Lab, which is what we originally started, or was the genesis block of the educational program there, was a faculty and alumni effort, right? And very fast we understood that for this to be like a nimble, fast-paced adoption and keep up with such a fast-paced industry, it needed to be something driven by the students. So the Blockchain Lab at UCLA then morphed into what is now Blockchain at UCLA, which is a sister or a brother, whatever you want to call it, student group from Blockchain at Berkeley, which were the original guys that started Blockchain at Berkeley. So we're now like a 400 plus student group that goes across the entire ecosystem of UCLA. And then we have a certificate under the engineering degree. And we also have classes that are offered at the law school and at the business school.
Fascinating. Very, very cool. And so that brings us into 7CC. Let's talk a little bit about the formation of the fund, maybe a little bit about your thesis.
Yeah, so we've been in the space as a company doing active investments since 17. I used to do, like I said, investments in 16, but as a firm, 17. And then our general thesis for this entire time was institutional investment will flow into this new ecosystem, new asset class. And if that wouldn't happen, probably we wouldn't be here because there wouldn't be traction enough to take us to what we are right now. And that thesis has been the central focus of our thesis. So we work with a lot of the largest banks in the industry that are looking at this asset class. Obviously, in 2018, the SEC and other regulators called general token offerings unregulated securities, and that pushed us to teach the course from a regulated perspective, as well as write the book, The STO Financial Revolution, which is available on Amazon. And that is our central thesis, like how institutional investment comes into this space. We now have a fund of funds called the G7 Crypto Fund that invests in some of the largest funds in the industry. across the ecosystem. We believe that the ecosystem morphs at a very fast pace. So the deals that Andreessen Horowitz and his A16Z fund sees in the Silicon Valley are not the same deals that someone sitting in Hong Kong will see, right? So that's the idea of our fund of funds. It spreads across the global ecosystem of some of the best funds in the blockchain space, covering NFTs, DeFi's, security tokens, arbitrage, and so forth.
What was that moment for you where you understood the value proposition of a security token representing a real-world asset on-chain and leveraging a lot of compliance and regulatory standards that crypto doesn't? What was that kind of moment for you where you realized that had a great opportunity in the world?
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was interesting, right? Because when we started the curriculum, we were teaching blockchain and crypto. And part of the curriculum, frankly, was how to launch an ICO. Right? Because that was the thing that was happening in 2017. And then very quickly, we understood that the space grew so fast to the point that the SEC started to take a careful look into it. And historically, and I think this is for we will continue seeing this, the regulator comes behind the innovator, right? You have to innovate to reach critical mass, so then the regulator will say, now let's regulate this, right? And that will continue to happen, and we're seeing this with DeFi. So when in 2018, the SEC decided to look at the space and start creating frameworks of regulatory compliance, is when we kind of merged into our thesis, this is going to become an institutional play.
And so with your fund, are you investing solely in funds and cryptocurrency? Are you taking equity in companies that you're showing promise in the industry? May you invest in security tokens at some point? What's the idea there?
Yeah, so the fund is mainly like other funds, and we reserve a portion of the fund, about 10%, to do equities of publicly traded companies like Coinbase or some of the largest miners in the space. Yeah.
Cool, fantastic. And so looking forward, do you see the security token space potentially surpassing what crypto has achieved?
I think that the regulated space will become larger than the non-regulated space from a AUM perspective, right? Because when you have like Fidelity custodying Bitcoin, right? The dark pool of Fidelity is massive. I think that from a AUM point of view, the regulated space will certainly become larger when you start having institutional DeFi plays, right? Then that's going to be massive. But from an adoption and a number of wallets, I think that we'll continue seeing like a larger number of wallets in the unregulated space.
Fascinating. So are you still actively deploying capital through your fund?
Yeah, we're actively deploying. I recommend any of your audience who follows you to reach out. We took a look, and this is a very interesting data point. We took a look at 900 funds to pre-select 40 funds. So, and we're constantly looking at new managers and trying to understand what people are doing. Like DeFi and NFT funds are now like a hot cake.
Yeah, for sure. So how would they reach out to you? How would they get in touch?
You can find us either on LinkedIn, Alex Nascimento, UCLA. The black and white picture there, I can't miss it. Or you can follow us on Instagram at 7cc Invest. Or on our website, 7ccinvest.com.
Perfect. Alex, thank you for joining us today.
Great seeing you again. Thank you so much for having us.
Definitely check out Alex's book on Amazon and reach out to him with any of your other questions, comments, or ways to connect it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, man.